Good evening, YouTube. This is Kayleen String coming at you with a slightly delayed stream tonight. I wasn't sure how long I would be out, but I went out earlier today to go hang out with my mom and my sisters and my niece, and I did not know what we were going to be having, but I knew it was going to be a rather late lunch, or you could call it a very, very early supper. But we had deep fried smelt, and we had 3 pounds of it, and we ate all of those little fishies. It was something that we used to eat when we were kids. We ate a lot of it. You know, back then it was an inexpensive fish, and so my niece had never tried it, and we haven't had it for a long time, so that's what we did. And so I figured, well, I still want to do a stream, but I'll just delay it. And so I decided to pick out something that would be appropriate for this weekend. Others are doing the beef and barbecue sauce MRE. I have that, and I looked when I was looking through my ration box. I pulled that one up, but then I decided someone else is going to be doing that. So I decided I'm going to go with this menu 19, this Jalapeño pepper jack beef patty. Let's see, we got Sean, we got Mike, we got Pete in the house, there's John. So thanks for dropping in. I got water on the stove coming up to boil. And just in case this one does not have a jalapeno cheese spread, I got that one on standby. And I'm going to do a little something different with the beef patty. There is David here. Thanks for dropping in. So I don't know what year this is. I'm guessing it's a 2019. This is packed by Warnick, and they don't usually date stamp their MREs, but I'm going to guess it's a 2019. I don't have any more of my older stock MREs. I'm all out of those older ones. And the other ones that I have, I know are 2019s because those are date stamped. And this one did not rip very well, but I got it open. I mean, this seal just, it was not good at all. But anyway, let's see what we got in this bad boy. I've had this before. I really like the jalapeno beef patty. So I got the beverage bag, which I don't use, but I save these. They make great storage bags if you're not going to use them for mixing a drink. Got the accessory pack, put that there. This is a jalapeno beef patty. It's an elongated one. Oh, there is a name I haven't seen here before. I just call you a dad for short, or Dada or something. Welcome, thanks for dropping in. So I got the spoon. Wow, these Skittles are a solid mess. This thing took some serious heat. this has the best buy date of September of 24 on the Skittles. And with this new nutrition labeling on here, you can tell that's new because that's only been around a few years. Let's see, the accessory pack has a date code of 5320, so this is 2015. So I could understand why this might have a bit of age to it. So the Skittles, I'm not going to be able to eat that. This has bacon, but since this is real bacon in here, so since I do not eat pork, I will not be eating that. So I'll hold on to that for someone else who will end up getting that. This is a twin pack of the wheat snack bread. And get a 529 on it. Yeah, this came from the Skittles. The Skittles packet kind of sprung a bit of a leak right here. And it came out to this lemon lime drink mix, but I can take care of that. Nut raisin mix. Then the FRH, flameless ration heater, which I'll not be using. I save all these. I figure I'm at home, I don't need to use it. I do need, or I can travel with it. So this is an emergency prep item for me. Then got the cardboard sleeve with nutrition info for both the beef patty and the cherry blobler. And that is what is in this retort right here. And I have an idea for this. This just gave me an idea. But before I kick off that, we'll open this little goodie bag up, see what we got going on here. Got the usual Lighthouse rear roll. This is before they started putting some, like the text, in a black stripe. Got a packet of salt, which for older FRH, you put this in there to help it kick off. Got the wet wipe. The creamer used to be in a packet like this. Now it is in a packet that looks closer to this. Same size, but it's just this style of packaging, which protects it a little bit more. Got a packet of mustard. Got sugar for the coffee. And there is the ketchup. Matches. It's hard to get this thing to focus, but matches out of US MREs, for the most part, are made by D.D. Bean and Sons, especially if they're the standard MREs. Sometimes you might get one with a different company on it. Cinnamon gum. You can tell the cinnamon from the peppermint because it one half of this wrapper is red. And this is type 3 coffee. This is freeze-dried. I don't mind it. I would prefer type 2. Or better yet, if I can get a type 1, I'm really happy to get one of those. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take the beef patty and this cobbler and put them in to the pot to heat up. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and open up this coffee and the creamer and the sugar first. I always do that. I would normally open up the cold drink first, but I want to clean that off first. This is what the freeze-dried coffee looks like. It's not a fine powder like the spray-dried. And the MRE bag becomes my trash bag. And the mug I'm using tonight is the one that I got from Will, who served his country years ago and then went into civilian life, into various careers until he retired, and then he left this world too soon. So because he was a vet, I'm going to honor him by using his mug, and his channel logo appears on this side when I pour the hot water in. See how this creamer looks. Actually, I didn't rip that one very well. It was just tightly packed in there, so that's fine. So when I take these to go into the kitchen to put these in the water to boil, I will clean this up so then I can come back and mix it, and I'll be right back. There we go. I got that all cleaned up. I see CT is in the house. Sunshine Side of Life 77 is in the house. And someone dropped a super chat. Let's see who did that. Oh, that was Claude. Thanks for doing that. That's much appreciated. Yeah, I missed that while I was in the kitchen. So, and that's the first time I've seen you in my stream. So welcome. Normally I do this at 7 p.m. Central or 8 Eastern. But I delayed it today because, for one thing, I needed to charge this phone before I went live, and I had a very, very late lunch or very, very early supper because I was over at my mom's apartment with my sisters and my niece, and my oldest sister cooked up 3 pounds of smelt. Booger Butt and Booger Butt in the house. Thanks for dropping in. So, smelt, for those that are not familiar with it, it's a very small fish, probably about the size of a sardine, but they're a little more slender. And we ate a lot of smelt when we were kids. It was an easy fish to get a hold of at the time. Today, 1 pound of those little buggers, over $7 at the grocery store. And that was the best price that you could find those buggers. But it was worth it. Well, that's a bummer to find out the hard way, Rachel. But now, that is one of those live tests that you have to deal with. I've had that happen with others in my family, and it royally sucks. Not raising. Next packet was a bugger to open, but I got it, and so I'm going to put that here. A few almonds, unsalted peanuts, they're unroasted, so the nuts are not salted or roasted. And there's raisins in here. But it's still a good snack. It'll be a good pocket snack. So someone having this MRE out in the field would not have time to eat this there, he or she would just take it on the run with them. I have this twin pack of wheat snack bread, but I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to change it up just for the sheer heck of it. So we can all send a cyber hug to Rachel. And, you know, if there's anything that any of us can do, however slight that might be, just know that we got your back. Yes, it is a 2015 jalapeno beef patty, and it came with the cheese spread with bacon. But I happen to have the jalapeno cheese spread in my stash, so I grabbed one. So the cheese spread with bacon that came out of this MRE goes where my other one waits to get passed on to someone else. So anyway, I am going to go get that, the beef patty, the cobbler, and a couple other little extra somethings. There's LC in the house. Thanks for dropping in. Well, thanks for dropping in, Dave. And give yell to LJ for us. So I'll take you off of here. Will Russell, he served his country. And now he rests to wait his final journey. So I decided to use his mug tonight. So my first little change up, instead of using the wheat snack bread, I'm actually going to use a legit hamburger bun. Just getting my scissors so I can nip off a corner of these ketchup and mustard packets. This is your standard yellow mustard that you would either find in a restaurant or just go into a store and buy. Here the tear notch goes across this way. There's James Ortiz in the house. That one didn't want to rip, so I just cut it open. All that liquid in there. I don't care to bother with it. So now that I got the burger on the bun, if you're going to have a jalapeno beef patty, you might as well have jalapeno cheese. I'll just let that sit there and see if the heat from the burger will melt the cheese. Now this cobbler, this one does have the tear notch going across this way, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to cut it across this way just like I did the burger pouch. Now remember these from a Smoky Stream? This is the packet that I have, but it's only 2 of these little shortcake biscuits. I can definitely feel the butteriness in these. Oh, there's Gardening Warrior Q. Yep, you did. And I saw your latest video. You know, this spot might not be big enough for my tray, so I'm actually going to be right back and I'm going to get a bowl. If you see a bit of odd little fuzz running around, that's Pumpkin. She's the cat I serve now since I've had to send Mila across the Rainbow Bridge. Oh, that's good enough. She will be 3 in August, I'm assuming, or late July. I don't know when she was born since I've only had her since the second week of August last year. Maybe not even that late because she came a few days after I got back from my family trip. So that is the cobbler. So now let's take a bite of this cheeseburger. Oh, DeCarlos Perry's in the house. Thanks for dropping in. Yeah, CT had a good video too, his most recent one. Anyway, here is... Yep, you can see that cheese is melted. Just what I wanted. Yep, because I took my own hamburger bun and used a jalapeno cheese spread. This cheese spread with bacon originally came with it, but since I don't want to eat pork, I do not eat this one. I pass it on to someone else. But the jalapeno, at least in the cheese, is right there. Well, that's good news that your mom is doing well. My mom is also doing well. She gets a home care visit now down to once a week. It used to be more frequent. And she is not using the oxygen concentrator as much, which is good, but she still uses it at night. Yeah, Elsie, if you have the ability to block that number on your phone, definitely do it. Because if you get a text from a number, on most phones, you have the internal ability to block it. Whereas if you get a text from an email address, you cannot block those, which is a kind of a crapper. But, of course, Memorial Day is a sad day for her because of the relatives who have died within the past, say, 15 years. And plus, we have relatives in our family who have served years ago. Some who have served are still alive. Others are not. Yeah, I just blocked those idiots. There, Will, that coffee's for you. Those coming in late, this mug I got from Will Russell. GIT Preparedness Info. His channel used to be Just in Time Prepping, and I got that mug from him. It's one of those mugs that works on heat, like a Smokey's Bob Ross mug. But I have a cousin who served in the Air Force as a fighter jet mechanic. And when she took the test to get that position, she tested higher than most of the guys who tested on the same day, at the same time with her. So she was kicking tail. I never did find out what she did as far as a career after she left the Air Force. Yeah, there you go, Elsie. That's how you cheese those buggers off. Yeah, those color changing mugs, it's very cool how they do that. I have a plastic glass that does that when you put cold water in it. It turns it a dark blue. I haven't used that on camera in a long time, so maybe one of these days I'll do a cold drink in it instead of my drinking jar. It holds about the same amount. Lemon lime, that's one of my favorites. It can never go wrong with that one unless it gets compromised. I'm just going back through the chat, see if I missed anyone. Don't think I have. I think I've seen everybody's name in here. Yeah, it's weird how these scammers like to work. And when they spoof numbers that they want you to think are local, yeah, right. If they're not on my contact list or one that I personally have called, 99.9% of the time, they're scammers. They claim that you did this when you didn't. Of course, the ones I love to have fun with are those that want me to sign up for a vehicle warranty. They hate it when I ask them what kind of a vehicle I have. They hate it when I ask them if they know something about me that I don't know about myself. But I don't care, I'm just going to keep doing that. Well, it looks like peanuts, almonds, a few almonds, and raisins and maybe cashew. Sometimes these mixes have sunflower seeds, but this one does not. Oh yeah, when a Canadian gets a call from someone claiming to be investigating IRS fraud, and that person has never had any tax business or tax transactions in the U.S., you know that's wrong. I get calls offering to refinance student loan debt. I ask them, do you know how much I owe? Because I don't. I didn't even know I had any student loans. You know, they hate that. Well, I've never owned a vehicle other than a trike, and they don't qualify for warranties unless you put it on your home insurance. Now, all I need for this burger is a couple of pieces of pickle, and that'll be good to go. I also get calls saying that I had applied for jobs when I haven't filled out any job applications since 2010. I took advanced nurse aid, a course at the local community college, hoping to try to get into a hospital or another facility. And I thought I would be a shoo-in because I used Spanish during the clinical. I thought that would give me a leg up, but nope. So I never have worked for an organization since 2009. I did some private duty for a few months, but that's it. That's the only other pay gig I've had. So I get a little from YouTube. Although I haven't had a payment in probably 5 months because my ad revenue hasn't been all that great. Because in April I took time off from streaming for Ramadan and I only put up a few videos. My couple of Shed Wars videos and a macadamia nut. Well, knock me backwards. I got a macadamia nut. Well, 2 of them. But yeah, and so I'm trying to build that back up. And now YouTube has this thing. I guess they're I don't know. I haven't built back up to where I get my analytics shows over $30 a month. I guess it's going to take me a couple months to get built back up to that, and I probably won't get a payment until June. That's funny. OLC, that's a good one. Yeah, those nutheads. They just don't leave well enough alone. Of course, that's nowhere near as funny as years ago when I was working for a storm door company and some nuthead who only wants to think down below or from down below kept calling our customer service department talking dirty every time a woman answered. And I heard about it and I thought, if this nuthead ever gets me, I am going to really lay it on him. And so when he called and it rolled to me and I kept going on with stuff like, I'm sorry, we don't have any information on that, or we don't deal with that kind of a thing. Just stuff like that, like you would tell someone who's calling about something totally unrelated to what your company is about. I just kept going on with that. And when he realized he wasn't going to get me flustered, that he wasn't going to get his jollies out of getting a rise out of me, he never called our company again. See what this cobbler tastes like with a cookie in it. Got that. This cookie is so soft when it absorbs the moisture from the cobbler. It's almost dissolving it, but it actually tastes like a cobbler. I think the way it works is when you get your payments from Google, everything gets combined. You don't get a separate payment for the super chats and now the super thanks that you see on a lot of channels. And I got one of those not too long ago. I saw that. And just like a super chat, you can put a comment on it. But all of that gets rolled into the one payment. So I guess they figured it's easier to just throw it all into one thing instead of having a separate payment for this, separate payment for that. So you see it in the analytics, what each portion is, but you don't get it as separate things. There are spicy tuna rolls in the house. Thanks for dropping in. Well, maybe that'll happen, CT. This is 2015 Warnick Pack Menu 9 Beef Patty Jalapeño Pepper Jack with a little bit of my spin on it. And these Skittles, they're stiffer than a First Strike bar. It feels like it. I'm not even going to try to open this thing. There's one little air pocket right there, which I just popped. There's that much pressure in it. So this took some serious heat in between the person who last had this one and me, and it leaked out a little bit. It's kind of hard to tell right there, but it's sticky a little bit. And I got onto the lemon lime drink packet. Yeah, sugar is sugar, but if you cannot open it to eat it, it's not worth your bother. If I wanted a different candy, I could get one. I could go get one of my Canadian ones from CT, but I got plans for the other ones, so I'm going to hold on to those for a little while. But I will save these, this twin pack wheat snack bread. They may make another appearance at a later time, who knows? So I decided to get my own hamburger bun. And this came with cheese spread with bacon. But I substituted the jalapeno cheese spread. Well, I kind of wanted that anyway. I wanted jalapeno cheese spread on my jalapeno beef patty. I do have the older veggie burger. If that one is edible, I might use these with that. But the one that Smokey opened up, his was not in the best shape. I don't know if mine was the same, the same production run as his. I don't remember the dates on his, and I would have to look at mine, but I think they came from different sources. But I would probably want to doctor it up anyway. Oh yeah, you can. You have to have at least 1,000 subscribers, and you have to maintain a constant yearly watch hours of 4,000. And once you achieve that, then you apply for the YouTube Partner Program and you set up an AdSense account so you can choose where your payments go to. So for instance, you can put in a bank account. You can, I don't know if you can put it into Google Pay and just have it sit there, or PayPal or what. I just put it into my bank account. That way, if I want to buy something to use on the channel, a piece of gear to test, or a more expensive ration that I otherwise might not be able to afford, provided it clears customs. Or say if I want to get a case, or if I want to get something that would improve my video production or video quality, I would use it for that. And that's where I put my my Google revenue. Those flaming hot Doritos. Yeah, the heat. I'd rather have more flavor than the heat. Everybody's taste buds are different. Although I think the Doritos are better than the very hot Takis. I think those just go after heat. And I want flavor along with the heat. Although I bet I have seen videos with people actually using Doritos as a fire starter. Well, there is Wyoming in the house. Thanks for dropping in. I'm having a little fun with the jalapeno beef patty, or I did, but it's all gone. What would have been cool is to have a grill going and put that burger on the grill to heat that up, and then toast a bun. And then put your burger together. I think that would be a cool thing to do. Yep, that's right. Yeah, I could have put my grill pan up on my stove and done that, but that's not as legit as actually having it over a flame. Yeah, the berry cobbler, but I threw a couple of shortbread biscuits under it. I broke them up. The same brand that Smokey had in his vintage IMP, but I just had a 2-pack of them, whereas his was a 4-pack. And I got that in a box with some other crackers. So I busted those up, put the hot cobbler on it, and just let it sit while I ate my burger and sipped on my coffee and my lemon lime drink. It's even better if you have a chocolate chip cookie or the chocolate chunk cookie. Because then you get that bit of chocolate in with the fruit. And I like that. This is my foreignMRE.com spork I'm using. Well, speaking of foreign MRE, I was scrolling through my video feed while I was getting ready to go live, and I saw that Art had put up a video on the Foreign MRE channel, so I'm going to go check that one out. He was reviewing a fishy ration. I'll just leave it at that. So I would definitely be checking that out. And by the way, if I was poking around the foreign MRE site, just seeing what they have, a few items available, but once they get set up into their new place, then they'll start getting inventory in on a more regular basis. Because, you know, when you're moving a business, you want to have as little product or inventory to move over as possible, so you're having to spend less time, you know, less effort, and possibly less money moving all that stuff. Well, CT, that's why you doctor it up. You add stuff to it to make it more palatable or more enjoyable. That's why I like busting up cookies and putting them underneath the hot cobbler and letting that soften up so it's closer to a legit cobbler. I have never watched any of those. I don't know what network that's on. I do have Hulu, but I don't know if it's on Hulu. I've never checked. But Netflix has a new Star Trek series, but I don't have Netflix, so I won't be watching that one. Yeah, well, I don't have any of those services. I don't have a TV. So those are pretty much useless to me. I mean, I can get Netflix because I can watch that on my Kindle or on my laptop. But I don't have a TV where I could really blow it up big, which would make it more enjoyable for me. Yeah, I have always enjoyed the ones that I've seen. I used to have a collection. I had several books. I had the Monopoly game. I've had some other items, but when I was getting ready to move from my last place to here, I needed to get some money to help cover the cost of that move, so I sold all that, and I ended up selling it all to one guy. He initially bought $75 worth, and then but then he asked me if I had anything else, and I said, yeah, I got a few others. So we both got out of the bus. We went into a nearby parking lot, and I showed him what else I had. He bought the rest for another $50. So otherwise, I was going to end up taking some of it to half-price books to see what I could get for it, but I got a better deal with that guy. And with a Monopoly set, you could get an additional 4 character pieces to go along with the ones that were in the box. So I had ordered those extra character pieces. And I just put those in the box. And that guy was really stoked to see that I had done that. Yeah, I got Marina Sirtis's autograph on one of the books that I had. And it was cool to meet her at the only Star Trek con that I've known about here in Des Moines, or at least that I've ever gone to, because I've never heard of any coming here since. But she was there. It was awesome to meet her. And she was really, really enjoying meeting the fans. You know, she's just a real personable person. You know, she's very approachable. And you can see that as how she played her character. Yeah, you can just search for movies when you do a filter. I think you can just put in a movie, or in your search, in your keyword, you can just put in movie in addition to whatever else you're searching for, and it should pop up movies. Yeah, we all had our favorites, I think. I think a lot of people, you know, Worf was one of their favorites. He was one of my favorites. And maybe one of these days I might rebuild my collection, or I might look for coins with a Star Trek theme on it, or something related to it, since I'm a bit of a coin collector. Yeah, a lot of people did. And I bet she did a lot of her own stunts in that series. Now that one, I don't remember if that was that's a series I don't remember. There was also an animated one, but I have never seen that one. I've only seen stills from it. Oh, sorry, Mike. You're going to have to go elsewhere for that, because none of us are going to be able to help you. Yeah, I liked her character as well. She really did a great job with that one. And of course, the Bionic Woman. I don't know how many know this, but they had either one episode or a movie or something where there was actually a third bionic person, another man, but I think a son. Well, I ate all the food that I had intended to eat. Shall we see what this thing looks like on the inside, if I can even open this? Actually, if I cut this open on this end, there's a little bit of room. There we go. Tell me that's not a hot mess. It's sticking to my fingers. It still has that sour flavor. Yeah, it looks just, it's got the feel of a First Strike bar. It's that dense and that solid. Some of them still have the original shape, but they've all been kind of blended in with the others. So you're seeing colors in there that originally would not have been in there. I think this is as far as I'm going to take this. I just was very curious about what it looked like on the inside. So that's as far as I'm going to get with this. Yeah, and I don't think it, I think it got a bit scrambled too much. I mean, it looks like a piece of plastic. Well, you're more than welcome to take a big bite of that. I mean, it still has a sour flavor from, you know, I licked the stickiness off my fingers. Oh, yeah, right. I doubt that from 2015. They would not bite on it at all. I think this thing is just going to join the rest of the trash in the bag. Yeah, I opened it, but that's as far as I'm going. Besides, I think I've eaten all that I would want to eat anyway. Even if the Skittles were edible, I would have just saved them for later anyway. Because it wasn't really all that long ago that I probably ate about 30 smelts. Or maybe 25. After all, I did share with 5 other people. Well, if you want to come over here and get it, I'll repackage it for you. But I don't think it's worth the effort or the gas. And who knows how much more it would deteriorate by the time you got here. Well, I think I'm going to go ahead and close this one out too anyway. But next week, let's see, next weekend, I am attending a wedding. No, it's not mine. My phone mount keeps shaking because this table shakes. But my niece by marriage, I call her my second niece because she is a daughter of an in-law, and I just choose to regard her as my niece. She's getting married. So before then, I went to pick out a little gift. But I do want to thank you all for watching, and I want to give an extra thanks for that super chat. That's much appreciated. That's the biggest super chat I have received so far. But even the $1 ones, I appreciate it. And so next week, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Once I find out what I will be doing, someone will have to make up my mind, basically. I will get a heads up as soon as I can. And I'll go ahead and post up. And it might be, I have 2 Norwegian Arctic field rations. I have a Lithuanian ration. I have a couple more Minotaur rations. And I have that French single meal ration that originally was supposed to do a collab with Aletha, but I just may end up doing that one on my own because, Aletha is going through some changes in her life, and that is up to her to decide how public she wants to go with that. And, if it's, I don't know if her work schedule is changing or if it's something with her health. I don't know. But anyway, I'll probably end up busting into that one myself because she had the identical ration. We are going to do a joint review of it, but, stuff got in the way. But anyway, I do want to thank you all for watching. And so hopefully next Sunday, If I don't post anything different, I'll post up what I will be doing at 7 p.m. Central, 8 Eastern. And thanks for watching, and catch you on the flip side.